It's not what the ladies did, it's what the ladies need to do, Divine Creator. I'm gonna explain it in a minute. I'm waiting for a couple more people get in the building, and you know what I'm saying, I'm a what you call it, but there's a video. Miss Lady Cool B, Calvez Tato. There's a lady going around. A video going around. I put it in my reels of a young lady jogging. A young man seemed to be jogging near her. A car to the left, in front of them, and she kind of sees him and moves over. Then he moves over, and she tries to move this way. Long story short, he tried to kidnap the girl. She fought back, and I guess he either got tired of it or some other car, somebody else was coming, so he ran off and got in the car, went about our business. The whole thing about this situation is, hey ladies, y'all need to be more careful. Fellas too, but ladies even more so. The kids even more so. There's some sick people out here. Some very sick. I want to talk about it. I want to have a discussion about it. You know what I'm saying? Fellas, we need to do more to protect our ladies in general. The women of our culture, the women of our communities, our peoples, our mamas, our sisters, our aunties, our nieces, our daughters, strangers. Listen, let's talk about it. Young lady jogging, a fella jogging near her. She goes, there's a car kind of in front of him to the left. She sees him and kind of moves over, away from him. He moves over this way. She moves back over that way. So he kind of act like he get clipped up or being tied, and it kind of slows her up. And he went to the curb, and then when she went past, he grabbed on her, tried to take her down, tried to pull her across the joint. She fought back. It looked like he looked back like somebody might have been coming or saw it or a car was coming. So then he ran off and got in his car. Divine Creator, that's a fact. Stay dangerous, ladies. If y'all got y'all mates, get with it. Nays, my favorite local. Hey, Creole Cupcake is in the building. If you got your favorite mace, keep it on you. If you got that thing, you got your hammer, get you a little 32, a little 357, a little 380 or something. Keep it on you. A knife, something. It's dangerous out here. What's up, Nays? It's super dangerous. You can hear people hitting either like or hitting comments under that post. It's hella brazy. It's hella crazy. You hear me? And there's a situation where we in a world where a lot of us don't want to get involved and get in other people's business and don't want to pay attention. We want to act like we can't see what's going on. However, we need to pay more attention. There's a lot of young ladies, a lot of young girls, a lot of young boys that are being snatched up and never to return home. They either getting killed or getting pushed into the sex trade, whether it be forced prostitution or other worst situations, either here in the United States or overseas. We got to do something about it. We can't always look for law enforcement to do something about it, because you know how they are. A lot of times they get there, they're there when they don't need to be there, and they get there late when they should be there. But if we around and we see something going on, break it up, make some noise, get the attention of the assailants, something. Don't be afraid that something might happen to you. If you got God on your side, a lot of that won't even matter. You hear me? We really gotta get more serious about taking care of our communities. Taking care of the women, the kids in our communities. It's a lot of abandon. There's a lot of neglect. There's a lot of not caring when it comes to what's going on in our communities. Thus, a lot of the shootings. Thus, a lot of the abductions, like the attempted one in that video. Grizzly Bear facts. It's kind of heavy. Start with the children, men. Stand by your children and women. That's a fact, Divine Creator. That's a fact of Mundo. Can someone be forced to be a pimp? No, can't nobody be forced to be a pimp. That's a pimp is a voluntary action. Somebody can be forced to be a prostitute, though. Somebody can be forced into the sex trade. Somebody can be forced into slave trade. Somebody can be forced in pedophilia. That's a fact. Facts. If you got time to record a video, you got time to interfere. Abaya, in this situation, I think this was a stationary camera that caught this, though. It didn't look like a iPhone or Samsung, but you absolutely right. In situations like with the police doing too much, in situations where fellas are trying to beat on a woman or whatever the case may be, a child getting abused or whatever the case may be, everybody don't need to record. Everybody don't need to record. Somebody need to step in. Somebody need to step in. And if somebody else is recording, that'll have your back if you get in trouble. Like, say, if it's a situation with a police officer abusing somebody on the street or whatever the case may be, police brutality wise, it'll protect you because somebody will have a documented footage of what was going on and you intervening. So that will save you in the court of law. In the case of somebody trying to kidnap somebody, you already know what it is, what you should do in that instance. Somebody abusing a kid or something, trying to abduct the kid, you know what y'all supposed to do off that. I can't say it because I ain't trying to get, trouble. But y'all know what it is. That's right, Abaya. Not this instance, but plenty others. That's a fact. Hey, Phil, yes, this is so true. I was sitting on my porch and a guy was right across the street walking, then stopped and sat on the floor to try and look under my... What? That's when you supposed to have called your sons or call somebody, your brothers, to punish that bama. Do you hear me? The Bible tells us we're living in the last days of this wicked system of things and the whole world is lying in the power of the... That's a fact, Brave. No, that's a fact. Bless 128. You see someone trying to snatch someone else, get involved. That's that fact of Mundo. Get your iggity involved. You hear me? Peace, PR Fontaine. Sucker Free Say So is in the building. Listen, L. Larry Jr., Jessica, LPN. Don't be afraid to get involved. If you're scared to actually put your hands on the person, make a bunch of noise. Get the attention of other people around that might not know what's going on. Alert. Scream to the top of your lungs to help that person. But if you can put your hands on the person to get them off of the other person or help the other person to get free, then do so. Do so. I've seen way too many situations and instances where men will just look like, that ain't my business. That's probably his girl or something. Nah. Ain't no man gonna be just dragging a woman trying to get him to a car or whatever the case may be. Salute. Yeah, people always move in fear. That's a fact. Get involved. And even if it is a domestic dispute, you can intervene in a respectful way, or you can intervene in some other kind of way. Night Rider, that's a fact. That's some sucker shit. Hey, S. Maxwell, it's your boy Corey's in here. For a group of men, whatever the case may be, to plot, plan, and try to carry out an abduction on a woman or a child need to be dealt with, need to be taken off here. I hate to say it that way, but it is what it is. There's way too many of our women that end up on missing posters. Some of them get found, traumatized and abused. Some of them don't ever get found. Kids the same thing. We need to stop that because there's a lot of perverted people, a lot of people that ain't got their morals nor their mentals wrapped on too tight, and got greed in their heart that want to get at our ladies to put them in the sex trade, or do other dastardly, sick and heinous things or whatever the case may be. Salute. J. Havo. Lock Butterfly. Gully Life TV, salute. We have to be better as men. I'm speaking to the men at the moment. I'm gonna speak to the ladies in a minute. But fellas, we got to step up. We got to be able to say, nah, it ain't gonna be none of that. We're not having it. Not on our watch. Not on our watch. I get it. Sometimes people be like, that's not my business. But when it comes to the bigger scheme of things, it is your business, because it could be your mama, it could be your sister, it could be your daughter, your niece, your whoever, somebody, a good girlfriend, an ex-girlfriend that you, whatever. We got to stand up. Ladies, y'all got to be more careful. Y'all got to be more careful. If y'all gonna go out jogging any time of the day, not just at nighttime, but even in the middle of the day, be aware of your surroundings. You out at the mall and you walk into your car, be aware of your surroundings. Be aware of your surroundings. If you ain't got no mace, or no knife, or no gun, take your keys. Take your keys. Stick one or two between your fingers like that while you walking. So if they put their hands on you, you can poke that and it will puncture skin. You get what I'm saying? If you ain't got no gun, no knife, no mace, no nothing, put a key between your fingers, the longest key possible, and walk with that. Be aware. Don't be oblivious. Don't be in your phone walking with your head down like you ain't got a care in the world, like things can't happen to you. A key punch, that's a fact, Divine Creator. Look around, look at the cars, because somebody could jump out of the car at you. They ain't got to be walking with you. They could be in a car and wait till you get up by them or right in front of them to jump out on you. Be careful of vans and other big vehicles, ain't even cars driving up on you. Pay attention. Social media ain't going nowhere. Your good girlfriend or your lovey-dovey boyfriend ain't going nowhere. Pay attention. Stay safe. Stay ready. Stay dangerous. You hear me? Biggins, Cherokee 112, New Quan, Uncle Champ, Southern Breeze is in the place to be. What they say, damn Phil, you got all them keys like a janitor. Right, they ain't gonna have this many keys. These keys unlock a lot of things, you feel me? But no, they take the point is to see that the one key, or you can take it to hold on, let me show y'all. Let me use these for example. You see that? I got 3 of them. Go right through an eye socket. Go right in the cheekbone, right in the neck, right in the arm. They'll come up off you. They'll come up off you. Trust me. Trust me when I tell you. Bad Little Savage, HJ is in here. Tell him you got the monkeypox and bite. Weeper, that's funny. That's funny. But in all serious, keep your head on a swivel, Nuquan. Pause. Jay Mullins, just be prepared, ladies. Keep your eyes open. A lot of ladies go out to clubs and parties at night, gas stations, and even if you with your good girlfriend or good girlfriends, still be mindful. Still look around. Not even just for abduction, but people trying to carjack, people trying to rob and steal. You gotta keep everything on a swivel. You hear me? Hey, Cuban baby. Keep everything on a swivel. And know that your life is what's paramount. Your life is what's important. Fellas. I know we living in funny times, but don't be afraid to be a gentleman. Don't be afraid to say, hey, it's getting late. You know what I'm saying? I'm not on nothing. Let me make sure you get at least close to your car as possible safely, or whatever the case may be. I know she might look at you like, hold up, I don't know. But there's some instances where they'll take that advice, especially an older lady, because they might look at you like, okay, young man, whatever the case may be, especially if it's during the day too. But King Lang, what's goody like the mob? Why do you think times are so crazy? Because it's been written and foretold. Southern Breeze has been written and foretold. You hear me? People would do the craziest shiggity right out in the open. Right out in the open. That's a fact. Without caring. Without caring who sees them, without none of that. So yeah, have fun, but be aware. That's a fact. I'm Up is in the place to be. Hoot Fist Satchel's in here. Chat Niger's in here. I already said Jay Muller. Here for Kane, Craig G. Mother of three sons, Budhead. Listen. Chat Niger, I'm talking about our ladies being safe, and that's us as fellas protecting them. Because I put a video up in my reels and in my story of a young lady jogging. For those that just coming in, a young lady jogging, and a gentleman is jogging beside. There's a car up in front of him, and he tries to abduct her. Basically, she fought him off, and I think somebody was coming because he looked back and he ran to the car and got in. And the car door had opened, like they was ready for him to be able to pull her on into the car, whatever the case may be. Hey, Nikki determined to read. Tavy, Lolo, what happened to the kisses? Now you Lolo Brown Sugar? You upgraded? LG too funny. What's goody like the mob? I am 99716. Good money gang. Easy money E is in the place to be. Renee Simone, what's your own? Here for Kane, that's right. What's goody like the mob? That's right, I am 99. We must protect our women at all costs. Even if it ain't our woman. Even if it ain't. If we out there and we see that going on, say something. Intervene. Do something. You ain't got to be Superman because you can't deflect bullets. But at the same time, do something. Say something. Don't just stand in and don't be one of them fellas. Oh, I'm going to record this. World Star. No. If you're going to be on World Star, be on World Star for putting foot in they iggity, in they behinds. You know what I'm saying? To get them up off of her. Hey. Thank you, Divine Creator. Jazz look crazy in the building. Hey. Uniquely Danny is in the building. We got to do better. Because a lot of this stuff goes on. A lot of this stuff goes on for a couple reasons. One, we not adequately showing that we care about the women of our community. One. Two, ladies, y'all be so independent and want to do you and be off doing you that a lot of times you'll put yourself unbeknownst to you in harm's way sometimes. As opposed to finding a jogging partner, a walking partner, whether it be your good girlfriend or a fella or whatever the case may be, find somebody to jog with. Because that's the thing. Old girl was just, she was doing what she wanted to do. She was jogging, not a care in the world. But when dude kind of got close to her, that's when she realized he was there and moved away. He moved over. She moved back this way. Then he went around kind of in front of him, act like he stumbled and was slowing up. And then when she went past, that's when he tried to grab her. And then she fought him off a little something. Sarah Lynn, they don't talk about human trafficking, but it's been a pandemic for a while. That's a fact. I did a video on YouTube about it, about a year or two ago. Actually, a year or two ago. It's a very serious situation. And even just in my region, it's heavy. And I know in a lot of metropolises and even little small towns, it happens. It happens. It's a lot of unsavory people. And if you catch some dudes trying to do that, put hands and feet on them if you can. I sanction that. I stamp that. The most disrespected person in America is a black woman. The most unprotected person in America is a black woman. The most neglected person, Brother Malcolm. And we got to do better. This is no disrespect to any other culture or race. Every woman needs to be protected. But there is an epidemic when it comes to black women, so hopefully other cultures and races won't have an issue with that, or whatever the case may be. Uncle Medea is back. We living in a crazy world, so please be on point at all times. I got my lady a pistol just for that reason, and she's not afraid to let that thing spark. Cash up, good money, gang. Listen, ladies, y'all can be prim, proper, you know what I'm saying, sassy and, feminine and beautiful. Don't be afraid to get you a pistol and go to that range and get right. Get proficient with that pistol. You hear me? I'm from a small area. It's the teens, unfortunately. Wow. Everything's everything. Ruru Benz is in the place to be. Ladies, don't be afraid to take self-defense courses. Don't be afraid to take self-defense courses because you never know where you might need it. Nah, it ain't for you to take home and beat up your man if he ain't trying to, you know what I'm saying, clean up or he's lacking or slacking. But protect yourself from domestic abuse, from abductions, all kinds of things that happen. You hear me? I even encourage my daughter to get in the range and practice. That's a fact. It's wild out here. That's a fact. Sam Unstoppable. Got to stay ready. Lick my Hershey Kisses is here. The Asian community went on patrol after the Asian hate attacks. Why definitely should. We definitely should be protecting each other. That's a fact. What I need to stop? What I need to stop, Renee Simone? Oh, I got some. A pistol is a deuce. I saw the video. Salute for bringing away. Thank you, M. Keon. And that's the thing, man. Listen, all the other things that we see on the internet, the memes, the funny shiggity, the music, the singing, the antics. You know what I'm saying? The skits, all that's well and good. But there's a time when we have to. When we see something, we need to share that. We need to, you know what I'm saying, say, okay, this is important. Because it might affect somebody in your immediate family someday, or in your extended family, or just in somebody's family that you are very familiar with. So this is not a problem where you can say, well, it ain't happened to me, or it ain't happened where I'm at. It can happen anywhere. It can happen anywhere. We need to protect our women, especially black, because we the standard and culture that everybody look up. That's a fact. I have my stun gun and another of protect. That's a fact. Like chocolate. That's a fact. My pistol. Crazy. Hey, Hershey Kisses. Shada joined. Queen V is in the place to be. Truly, hold on, I missed something. Talking about us ladies using our self-defense skills on Bay if he don't act right. Cut that. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all get a little self-defense and y'all be like, what you say? What you say? You know what I'm saying? want rough a brother up. Brother just sit back trying to watch the game or something. He might be lazy on something, not giving enough quality time, but don't beat him up. But use it where it need to be used. You feel me? Knowing the body helps too. That's right. There's soft spots that will do wonders. Here, hit that. Listen, I can show you a few things, but the point, Sarah Lynn definitely has a point. Knowing the body and the soft points, you could grab somebody like right in the armpit, grab them. Listen, there's a lot that you can do, even as a lady, to get them up off of them. You can grab them by the walls and yank and twist them joints. You hear me? Like an old school cigarette machine. Trying to get the cigarettes out of that joint. You hear me? Remy the Don is in here. Susie Dander's in here. I'm a lover, not a fighter. But guess what, though, Renee Simone? It might come a day where you might have to fight. If there's no fellas around to fight for you, and you happen to be, you ain't got to be jogging. You could be walking down the street from a corner store or something, and somebody pull up or might already be setting in place to try to snatch you. You got to make yourself prepared. You got to make yourself ready to actually defend yourself. And again, stay off your phones while you're out there. Pay attention. Pay attention. Look at everything around you. Look at everything around you. Look at everybody around you. You ain't got to stare, but look at everybody around you. And give them a head nod or something like, yeah, I see you. What's up? You know? And, you know, keep it moving. Watch out for cars, tinted vans, tinted trucks. J-Man is in the building. Danny, Mr. Designer. Tommy Two Fingers. Everything's everything. Remy the Don. What's good? What's goody like the mob? Good money. Tammy Snows. What you know no good? Ace Rue. I also have 3 beautiful nieces, which 2 are twins and are in their teens. I'm on there. Listen, I'm the same way. I got 3 daughters. My oldest 2, my youngest daughter 2. Like, listen. I'm telling you, I would go on a rampage after every individual that I assumed or knew was involved with anything, from pedophilia on around the clock. Something happened to one of my kids. You hear me? Hey, Tammy Snows, Ghost 0750, Black the Don, E General, or poking with a lit Newport. Listen, Superfly Snooker is in the building. this is it though, fellas. Listen, again, don't be, for those just coming in, do not be afraid to get involved if you see some activity that don't seem right involving our ladies. I get it. The general premise is, oh, it's not my business. They could be in a domestic dispute, but you can watch and listen and see what's going on. And even if it is a domestic dispute, you can intervene in a respectful way, or you can intervene in a more demanding way to help stop the situation. Suave Rico in the building. Danny, Mr. Designer, I've never been shot, but I've been shot at a few times. That's a fact. And Danny, Mr. Designer, I'm not telling nobody to be Superman, because bullets don't bounce off the body. You can assess when you see what's going on whether somebody got a pistol in their hand or not. A lot of them abductors don't have pistols in their hand because they need their hands to grab the person. And the other person usually in the car, waiting in the car or the van. So you can't let that be the fear. And then you don't have to put hands on the person. You can holler out, draw attention to the scene, to what's going on. You get what I'm saying? But we have a duty. We have a duty to our people. We have a duty to our children, to our women, to our community. And ladies, y'all share that duty too. Y'all see something going on with a woman, don't be catty and be like, well, she shouldn't have been out there jogging in that outfit anyway. She should have known better. No. That could be your sister. That could be your auntie. That could be your cousin. It could be your daughter. Could be your mama. Could be your grandmama, depending on the age. Oh, them extra bullets. Hey, daughter, I see you in different days. I'll never trust a van with no windows. And listen, it don't even have to be a van with no windows. It could be a van with blacked out windows. Be careful. And some vans, even though some work vans have that on the back, but be mindful of the ones that got the locks on the back, on the outside of the van. Be mindful of them, because them sometimes are used in those type of situations. DMV Mark Keith, someone said, get some Band-Aids and stick some thumbtacks in it. What the hell you gonna do with, so they poking out your hand? Ladies, those are just coming in, right? I said, if you don't got a gun, if you don't got a knife, and you don't got no mace, take your keys. Most people got at least 3 keys. Take your longest keys, put them between your fingers. Here, in the arm will get it up, get them up off you. Don't be afraid to defend yourself. Take self-defense courses. Find a jogging buddy, male or female, that's gonna get out there with you, so that it kind of deters. If there's more people with you, then it's the less likelihood that somebody's gonna get snatched. Watch out for the man with the cute puppy. Factamundo, especially in the case with little kids, because they use little animals, especially puppies and dogs, to lure kids away from playgrounds and over towards cars to snatch them up as well. That's a Factamundo, Creole Cupcake. Facts Big Phil, the whole city under investigation. Man, you hear me? Scorpio Taylor is in the building. Shmoney over honeys. Pretty Love Kanye's Gucci LV. I was so afraid for that woman. Yeah, man, listen. And you can see at the end, she was overwhelmed. You could tell even from that distance, she probably broke down and everything. But it looked like somebody was off in the distance. I don't know if a car was coming or somebody was hollering, hey, what you doing? Because homeboy got up off of her and went and jumped into the car, and the car, drove off, or whatever the case may be. That's facts. She wasn't having it. See the Beauty is in here. I even have knives in my car in case someone, listen, hey. And then ladies, this is another thing. Fellas too, you got to be mindful of this. Somebody tailgating you. There's a trick sometimes for carjackings and or robberies and or abductions. Sometimes it's a multiple car thing. Another car will come and slowly get in front of you, and the back car will come and bump your bumper. If a car bump your bumper and you in a dark road or in a dark place or not in a well-lit area, do not pull over right there. Do not pull over right there, because that could be the last time you could be seen. That could be the last time you have your possessions and or your car or your life. You hear me? Getting involved in DV can be tricky because now that's a fact too. That's a fact. But there's a respectful, tactful way of in which you can do it. Mad Money Murder, Miss Camille, East Side for life. You know what's crazy? Majority of these females end up going back to the same guy. No, well, as far as in the domestic violence situation, yeah, that happens. But as far as abduction and things of that nature, it's happening. It's happening way too many. It's happening way too often. I said way too many. Jamil is in here. Young Kaza is in here. Yeah, these bullets gonna have. I promise that Charter Oak pen gonna get a whole different use. Factor Mundo. Mrs. Michelle is in the building. Crazy Work Mom. DJ Fresh of double OGs. Kunta Tubman is in here. Energy Cast. Jacinta. The topic, Crazy Work Mom, is protecting our ladies and ladies being careful, being mindful, staying woke, staying ready, staying alert, staying dangerous, learning some self-defense, getting you a weapon, being aware of your surroundings, being mindful of strange people and strange vehicles in your neighborhood and wherever you go. Getting a workout partner, getting a jogging partner, getting a going to the mall partner. Josie XO is in here. Princess Brit is in here. That bling chick is in here. Remy the Dawn. Because Lord knows that none of us want to see somebody that we know or love in a situation that they can't get themselves out of. Lord knows we don't want that for no woman that we care for, that we know, or nobody that we know. We don't want that for the women in their family, the neighbor down the block. We don't want that. And we got to be mindful and do something about that. You understand what I'm saying? Fellas, stop turning the blind eye to a lot of the bullshittery. Ladies, stop turning the blind eye to a lot of the bullshittery. The crack era messed our community up heavily. Before that, neighborhoods were really neighborhoods. They looked out for each other community-wise. When the crack era came about, people closed their shutters, locked their doors, didn't want to witness nothing, see nothing, etc. We got to get back to community. We got to get back to protecting our communities. I'm reading last week's comment. Am I not that far behind? I'm sorry. Tommy Two Fingers, thanks for the bads. Shout Crystal is in here. But there are a few that live for good knowing someone cared enough to protect them doing that. That's a fact. That's a love for good knowing. That's right. CL, BBNY, what's goody like the mob? We need Batman. No, we don't need Batman. We just need some real men and some real ladies to stand up. That's what we need. We need each other. We all we got. Like I said before, a lot of times the police, they either there when you don't need them or they get there late. Get there late. Hey, immigration lady. Hey, how you doing?
Hi.
How you doing?
Good night.
Are you aware what the topic is about?
Yes. What's goody like the mob?
What's goody like the mizab?
So I just had like a quick little insert to just say, you know, you are not a victim. You're a survivor. Always.
Sure.
Just know that you have it in you. To any woman that's watching, you have it in you. You are better than that. You are worth more than that.
Fact.
I do immigration work, but there's, I mean, I don't know how many people on here need immigration help, but if they do, if they feel like they're married to someone and that U.S. citizen spouse is holding your green card hostage, or if they're holding your passport, or they're they're abusing you, and you feel like you feel obligated to stay in that relationship because you haven't received your green card yet, please message me. And please say, you can speak up. You can do more than just sit there and take it. You don't have to
That's a
take
fact. That's a
just
fact.
because you're here in a country that you don't know about, just because you're not sure of how to do certain things. You can do whatever it is. You should not live in misery. Every single day that we wake up is a gift from God. So use that gift every day, and don't feel discouraged by anybody trying to hurt you in
That's
any
a fact.
form of the way.
That's a fact.
But I think it's amazing that you're passing on this message, Phil. I mean,
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
You're always dropping the gems for sure.
I try to drop a couple, you know what I'm saying, like Salt Bay. I try to, you know what I'm saying, drop a couple if I can, you know what I'm saying? The thing of it is, I just think that, like I said earlier, there's plenty of memes, plenty of music, plenty of singing, plenty of turn up, plenty of garbage, plenty of sex, plenty of a lot of things that's on here. Yeah. But when something like this comes across your table or your plate, you need to promote it, put it out there, and let people see it so they can kind of get an awareness of the possibilities.
Yeah.
Not to have people living in fear, but so that they can wake up and have that proverbial wake up smack, like pay attention.
Yeah.
Be aware of your surroundings.
Definitely. I used to work for a bank, actually. And they always said, be conscious of your surroundings at all times. That's because any day could be the day that you get robbed, and you need to be sure that you remember the car that parked there, or if you see a car that's parked at the bank's parking lot for too long, no one's come out, call the police, just have them circle around. Yeah. Check them out. So I've always been on high alert. Ever since I had that job, I've had anxiety about any car and like I it's not fear, but it's like super aware of my surroundings because of that, and I'm grateful for that. I haven't used it yet, but I'm still the what knowledge and like
I thought you were talking about you had a little pistol or something, some mace or something.
No. I have pepper spray.
Okay.
I have pepper spray.
Okay.
I haven't used the hypersensitivity to my surroundings yet. Like I haven't needed to use it. Like, my new knowledge of, be aware of everything.
Because that helps. A lot of times that people that fall victim in the streets are people that aren't paying attention, that aren't aware of people around them. And attackers, they see that, they witness. I mean, they see that and they see weakness because you're not prepared, and they get the one up on you, they get the drop on you, and get up on you a lot of times. Whereas if you're more aware, it makes them second guess, like, hold on, is she a good candidate to try to snatch or to try to get, or whatever the case may be. And this, ladies, this also applies as a defense or readiness against like the R word and things of that nature, and sexual assault. Just be mindful, you know what I'm saying? Do your due diligence into self-defense classes and courses. Don't be afraid to get you a gun and go to that range, or get a knife, get some pepper spray or mace. And again, if you got some keys, put them between your fingers, lock it up. And I guarantee you could do damage with that. Hey, sweetums, how you doing?
There's something too, like as a woman, just I've lived in my country, Belize, and that's, sometimes you go into some areas, and in Chicago, I was in Chicago this weekend, and it was very sketchy. So things that you learn, you don't, like, I roll my glass down, but if I'm at a stop sign, those go up. Like, I'm not trying to invite anyone into my car.
That's a fact.
So, I mean, different little things. Keep your doors locked. If you're at a gas station, make sure you look around at everyone to make, if it's dark, and like I just got gas, I looked at everyone in that gas station, made sure I was aware of my surroundings, not being like, in a different world when I'm at a gas station. No, I grabbed the thing, I put the thing in the thing, and I look around, because when when you're like in your phone, you're trying to pass the time that the gas pumps for, right? But you're in your phone, you're deep in your phone. Someone could just pull up on you, do something, or grab your car, or whatever it is. So it's like, be aware of that. And like, if you're in a shaded neighborhood or it doesn't seem very safe, don't be rude. Don't look like you're afraid.
Exactly. Just look like you alert. Look like you're aware. Like
look
you
like you
like,
belong. Be
yeah,
friendly as a woman.
that's
Be
fact.
friendly, like not over friendly, like not. But honestly, today I went into a store, and it wasn't the best neighborhood to go into a store like that. But I went in there with a friend, and it's like, people flirting with you, and they're trying to be nice and give you a compliment. You don't brush them off and be like, ugh, disgusting. You don't react that
You
way.
give them a thank you, I appreciate it, or whatever.
Yes,
Maybe
yes.
keep it pushing. You know what I'm saying?
The,
You don't have,
like,
if you're not interested, you don't have to entertain beyond that, but you can
yes,
acknowledge. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Like,
Yeah.
even though you have that urge and be like, you could never, but keep that in your head. Just be like, oh, thank you. Be flattered. Be polite. It's just
Fact.
it doing that just saves you. And when people get rejected, when people get shut down, they get violent. They're hurt, so they want to hurt you sometimes. And you don't want to be that trigger for that day, for that
That's
person.
a fact. That's a fact.
Because
Because
you could catch
I've seen other
someone.
videos. I've seen other videos where dudes then follow ladies up into buildings and then try to sexually assault them and have physically assault them for whatever the case or whatever the reason has been, and like hitting them like they're a man.
Honestly, I think those ladies, they ignore the man, the cat calling. We're all human. We're attracted to each other, whatever, right? But for the sake of being in the real world, don't ignore someone that's catcalling you, because that person could follow you and try to hurt you because, oh, you're too good for me. No,
I get
I'm
that.
just like,
I get that. Yeah,
I'm
you
just
can,
like,
you can give a simple acknowledgement and then keep it pushing.
yeah, simple. It just, you've acknowledged their presence. They're human. They're a person, and you're giving them the time of the day to just at least acknowledge that. But
Facts.
other than that, and if you really don't feel safe, then go up to the nearest sane looking person or woman that you know and be like, oh, hey girl. And then you kind of whisper to them and say, I don't feel safe. This guy's
Yeah,
following
exactly.
me.
I'm glad
Help
you brought
me.
that up.
Yeah.
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
Yeah. I've been in, there's this place called Dillinger's in Chicago, like near Chicago kind of. And I walk into that store, and if I see someone watching me extra weird, and I've done all the things, I've smiled at them and I'm like, hey, good night, or I greet them or do something to make sure they know I'm human, I'm a person, don't rob me, don't do anything to me, and they don't acknowledge me. Now that's a problem, because at this point I'm like, I'm their target, because they're ignoring my defense mechanisms, and they're being like shut off from me. So I'm like, he's gonna rob me probably, because it's not that I'm flashy with anything. I wear the same few rings. I wear my grandpa's chain. I'm wearing his chain. I wear little gold earrings. I wear the same stuff. I don't wear makeup. I just wear these things. But those simple little things and the way I dress, maybe somebody would say, oh. And then the car, whatever. But if I find myself in that situation, I would find the nearest gentleman. I can identify those people, and I'll be like, hi sir, I'm about to go outside with my food, but would you mind escorting me to the car? Like, just
I don't feel
because this isn't. Yeah,
that's
no,
a fact.
I would, like, you, if you were in the store, I'd be like, could you, I know this is I'd ask you for a favor.
Ladies, what she's saying is paramount. Don't be so prideful or so uppity. I ain't asking nobody to walk me to the car. Listen, If you feeling unsafe or something, talk to somebody. Say, hey, like she said, would you walk me to my car?
Yeah.
I got an eerie feeling about this guy or that guy, or whatever the
Yep.
case may be.
Yep.
Listen, put your pride aside, get to that car safe. So you can go
Listen to
about your
that
business.
gut feeling. Listen to that gut feeling.
You on paper, I
Honestly.
appreciate it. That's a fact.
Yep.
That's definitely a fact. You put out there some very good points, and I hope that the ladies and the fellas have paid attention or whatever. Because fellas, you got other ladies in your life, whether it be your mom, your sister, your daughter, your niece, your cousin. Talk to them about what we're talking about. Make them aware that it's of the utmost importance to be prepared, to be cautious, to be mindful, to not walk in fear, but walk in preparedness for anything to go wrong or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
You ain't got to be out there looking for trouble, but you're confident enough that by paying attention that you're ready for whatever trouble may come or whatever the case may be. I appreciate you. I'm gonna rotate the room and see who else wants to come up. I appreciate you as usual. Thank you so much, immigration lady.
Bye, Phil.
Bye, 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 bye. Hey, who else wants to come up and talk about it? Don't leave me up here by myself. Let's talk about it. Fellas, I need some men up here to chime in. It's our ladies, whether they are ladies or in our communities, that are coming up missing, that are getting snatched, that are getting abused, that are getting dealt with foolishly. Our children that are getting abducted, assaulted, abused. We got to stand up. We got to stand up. We can't be waiting and looking for the police to be around at all times. We got to be men about ours. We got to be like the Deacons of Defense. We got to be like the Black Panther Party. We got to be like other community organizations. You get what I'm saying? We have to do that. We all we got. Like the biblical verse in like New Jack City. Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I am. Am I my sister's keeper? Yes, I am. It's up to us to do something a lot of times. A lot of times we see things in a twinkling of an eye, and just that moment can be just enough to either save a life or watch a life vanish. Not necessarily death, but snatched or whatever the case may be. Jay Pickney, Amanda is in the building. Hey, Wavy, I see you, Wavy. You get what I'm saying, though? Do not be afraid to intervene. Don't be Superman or don't be Superwoman. Ain't nobody tell you jump out. Nobody tell you jump out a 10-story window without a parachute. Assess the situation while you're approaching it. And again, if you're fearful of putting your hands on a person, make all kinds of noise. Grab something and hit against a trash can. Do something. Make yourself known. Make it known that I see you. I see what you're doing, and it ain't gonna be tolerated, and it's not gonna happen. Make sure you do that. I'm trying to accept you, Remy the Don, Mr. Nonchalant. B Hop is in the building. We have to stand in the gap. We have to stand in the gap and make sure that our communities are safe. Ladies, you have to stand in the gap with self-preparedness, self-awareness, surveilling everything around you. Don't be too cute. Don't be too in your phone, too in your music, too in your, I don't want to be bothered, to pay attention to everything around it. Be hop, salute. Be in the present state of mind of, listen, this world ain't right, and anything can happen at any given moment. I got to make sure, at least with my eyes, and make sure that I see around me and see what's going on. Because even if you don't know of anybody that's been affected, a lot of people and a lot of families have been affected by abduction, by the R word, sexual assaults, by abuse and everything else. Angel Rivera was goody like the mob. Simone Jackson is in the building. Wait, what happened is in the building. I know we about to get some good wisdom now. I know we are. Hey, Evolution Brooklyn.
What's up, good brother?
B Hop, how you doing?
I was just on another live talking to a brother that couldn't understand the true aspect of politics.
Mm.
So I was trying to get him to understand that politics can be politricks.
Yeah. Fact of money
And
on a lot of levels.
it's a lot of this stuff is systematic. He was stuck on the point of not calling himself black anymore. He calls
Say
himself
what?
indigenous.
Oh Lord.
I said, listen, whatever you choose
Whatever floats your boat. Yeah.
is based on the majority system, how it equates to you and what level of access do you have.
That's a fact. Let me ask you this. You've been in law enforcement or whatever the case may be. My title is Hey Ladies, Please Be More Careful. There's a video that I saw and I posted it in my reels and in my story of a young lady jogging. A fella's jogging kind of beside her. He's kind of getting close to her. There's a white car up ahead to the left. She sees him, moves over. He moves over. She moves back this way. He kind of goes around and then act like he stumbled to the curb. And when she went by, he tries to snatch her. She fights him, and the way he looks back, like somebody or a car's coming or something, and he runs off and get in the car and goes on or whatever the case may be. In your years of law enforcement, etc., could you expound and or give some tips that you feel are pertinent to the ladies in here and also the fellas in protecting our ladies when it comes to that?
Well, I'm glad you asked me that because prior to my surgery, I did a ladies self-defense class, but I did it from a litigative standpoint. A
Okay.
lot of people go to self-defense classes based on the physical aspect.
Mm-hmm.
If you had to protect yourself on a higher level with a firearm or any other tool or weapon, do you know the laws of your state?
Mm.
Do you know that you won't be victimized by the police department once you fight off yourself from being victimized by the individual?
Mm-hmm.
Look what happened to the young lady in Florida. She shot 2 warning shots and got put in jail for all that time.
Was it the one she was in her garage and it was a domestic?
Yes, yes,
Yeah, I
the
remember
black
that.
woman.
Yeah, I
And
remember
then
that.
you have other cases where the women were white. They did more egregious things and never received any
Got
jail time.
nothing. Exactly.
What I tell people is this. In every state, there's a crimes code. Order that book. I'm in Pennsylvania. I tell all my ladies when I teach them, order the Pennsylvania crimes codes, most latest edition.
Mm-hmm.
Go to the chapter where defense. Some states have a castle doctrine, meaning that you can protect your space up until death.
Mm.
Some states won't let you do that.
Mm-hmm.
Some states will expect that you retreat before you do anything physical.
Yeah.
So my suggestion to the ladies is find out based on your state by getting those crimes code books. Stop thinking that you're going to find good information from other people. Go search it for yourself.
That's a fact.
You
Do your
can
due
never invest too much into yourself. That book might cost you $70, but it's a most needed book. Thing of it is from a litigative standpoint, always understand one thing. If you get abducted and you get yourself free, depends on what you had to do to get yourself free. That you don't want none of that to come back and bite you
bite in the butt. Yeah, that's a
in the
fact.
long run
That's a
because
fact.
you've already been through a traumatic experience. The police department, the DAs, they're not your friends. If you had to do something, I tell my ladies all the time, whatever you had to do, keep it to yourself until you have legal representation
Around you. That's a fact.
around you and speaking for you.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you go through something in life, you're too emotional. You're going to give out too much information that can be held against you in the court of law.
That's a fact.
And then they're gonna want to determine whether you felt as though you were in imminent danger. And then they're gonna try to adjudicate you based on, well, we don't feel as though you were in imminent danger. Why did you do what you do?
That's a
See,
fact.
what qualified immunity does with police officers gives them the ability to say something like that when there was no imminent danger present. You ladies don't have qualified immunity.
Mm.
So make sure you understand what you're getting yourself into. It's one thing to fight somebody off. It's another thing if you had to take it to another level.
Another level, yeah. Especially depending on the
So,
state. Yeah, you're right. Because
but the
sometimes
best,
even in your home, in certain states you can fire on an assailant or an intruder, and in others you can't, unless there's certain parameters that are involved or whatever the case may be. That's very true.
just remember, ladies, law is not logical.
Mm.
In my class, I had the ladies, I gave them a scenario. They answered the scenario based on their full emotion.
Mm-hmm.
And I acted like the district attorney. They were hating me after the class because they didn't realize that their story could be turned around against them.
Turned on them. Yeah, that's a fact.
And the thing of it is it's all about situational awareness and getting yourself educated to have a plan. That plan is just not physical. That plan is how you're going to deal with your emotional value afterward. How you're going to recoup the loss if somebody takes something from you, like from your body, from your person, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Go get yourself some understanding of what it all looks like under the law first. And
So
then,
you know, in the case it happens, what to be prepared mentally for the aftermath of it all. That's that. Yeah.
yes. And then
Yeah.
go seek some understanding of how you can get yourself a plan. For the states like Pennsylvania, that it's an open carry state, sometimes you ladies get your firearm, get licensed to carry. And if you're in unfamiliar territory, expose the weapon. A great deterrent is one that people will already know that there's a challenge waiting for them.
Waiting to happen. I said that earlier. I said showing that not being in your phone, looking down, looking oblivious to what's around you. Those are the easiest targets because they're like, oh, they slipping. Whether it be for robbery, sexual assault, abduction, you know, whatever the case.
Right. If you look on the internet right now, a lot of the people either park at a gas station, leave their car running because they just running in, or they park a book on the seat, something to that effect. Got to stop doing stuff like that. Times have changed to the point where you have to think of safety first.
You got to think for other people, not just yourself. You got to think what could happen, what they might do. Yeah, that's a fact.
When you walking down the street, stop thinking that every man wants you. If a man says, "Hey, beautiful," turn around, look at him, and say, "Thank you very much." It's not that you're accepting his offer. You're putting eyes on him.
Facts.
Start taking a physical inventory. Is he a tall man? What kind of clothing did he have on? Start understanding that type of thing. Start training yourself to get snapshots in your head. Because at that point, you don't have nowhere to write it down. Sometimes you can go in your phone and pull up your voice recorder and just speak into it about what you think happened. That'll give you a better understanding that any qualified law enforcement asks you, you'll have it on tape already.
That's a fact.
A dull pencil is sharper than the sharpest mind. Always remember, I don't care how good your mind is. If I wrote it down at the time that it happened, I have a better recollection of it later on than I do trying to remember it later on. So, when it comes down to that, there are certain things. When a lady parks her car, it's not always, you can't always find a well-lit area.
That's true. Yeah.
But before you get out the car, take an inventory, a 360-degree inventory. Start using your rearview mirror. I
Fact.
scared the hell out of my mother and my sister one day because they were at a stoplight and I ran up on them and opened the door. They didn't even know that I got out the car and ran up on them.
They was oblivious. They weren't paying attention. Yeah.
I told my mom when she was living, I said, Mom, you gotta be more careful. Carjackings don't necessarily always happen when you're at a red light.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
They do this bump thing now. They bump your car and wait till you get out, and
That's
then you look to see
confirmation.
if there's any damage.
I spoke about that earlier, so I'm glad you brought that up because I said, and sometimes it'd be multi-car, like a car might pull in front of you and the other one to come up and hit your bumper, tap your bumper.
Or they're doing things with your car handle now. They putting a piece of paper or something underneath your car handle, or they putting something on your side mirror. They're getting real slick out here to get your attention, putting some on your windshield. They want you to stop somewhere, get out, pull it off your windshield, so they have that moment to come at you.
Run up on you. Yeah, that's a fact.
It's just not just for women; it's for men too.
Men too. That's a fact. Men get abducted, children get abducted, carjacked, the whole nine.
Men and women have body organs that can be sold.
That's a whole nother part
So
of it.
always remember, the thing of it is crimes of opportunity. So, when I do my lady self-defense classes, I get real deep into understanding personal and situational awareness.
Mm-hmm.
In your home, how is your home designed? Do you have something to protect yourself? Not at the front door. We're talking about beside your bed.
Aha.
Because so many people think, oh, the front door. Well, if it's at the front door, then that person just broke in your house can use it against you.
How you gonna get to it? That's a fact. How you gonna get to it?
That's not logical. How many women have a safety drill that they do with their children in their own house? So the kids know what to do. They know how to adjust themselves so you're not worrying about the children as much as you're worrying about yourself. All of this makes a difference.
It does, yeah.
In terms of having a full value and understanding of some of the things that you can do. If anybody wants more information on this, all they got to do is hit me up. Thing of it is this.
B-Hop. They try and say you my uncle or somebody, but he's a good brother with a lot of knowledge, a lot of wisdom, and he's not afraid and he's not selfish to share it too. So if y'all not tapped in with him, tap in with him. He's a good dude.
We can be brothers, brother. Listen, us light skinned brothers got to stick together anyway. There was a time that my light skinned self couldn't get the attention of people. You know why? Because there was always stereotypes against it.
Yeah.
I can't date you.
So much though when I was younger.
Yeah, I can't date you because you light skinned. Everybody thought that we were stuck up or something.
Exactly.
And this crazy part is the brown skinned brothers never thought we were dark enough to be black. So we had to fight in the black community and the white community because we were light, but we weren't white.
That's a fact.
So, us red brothers, if we started pounding on people, then they start understanding that we're not pushovers.
I broke out of that early. Like in my neighborhood, we used to play street football, like this street against that street. And if it was a street that didn't know us, they'd be like, "Oh, who's that light-skinned little curly hairs? Oh no, that's Phil. He all right." Because they need to fight the other kids from other neighborhood. Stupid stuff, but
I had to go through that too. But I went to high school. I went to high school with a lot of the white guys.
Okay.
That lived near my area. Because my high school was designed for everybody that lived in the Southwest area.
Okay.
So I ended up seeing them in school. So they wasn't going to test me at home because they knew I put it on them. See, the thing of it was when I was 11 years old, coming home from school, my book bag got taken.
Mm.
I got home. My mother asked me, she's like, "Where's your book bag?" I said, "This dude took it from me." She's like, "I
What?
don't care. I don't care. Take your ass back to South Philly and go get that bag."
Go get it, yeah.
I was crying my eyes out. Now, mind you, I didn't know nothing about fighting or nothing about nothing. I didn't even know the dude that took my bag. Everything happened so quick, I didn't pay attention. But this is how God works in ways that aren't necessarily mysterious. I went back to the bus stop, ended up seeing the
Being
dude
the
come out of the house. I rang the doorbell. His mother answered the door. I said, "Well, I think your son has my bag in the house." She was like, "Let me look and see." He was like, "Yeah, honey, this your bag." Guess what? My grandfather and my uncles, they own funeral homes. They buried one of her family members.
wow.
So
Wow.
she assisted me with getting my bag back and jumping in her son's ass for stealing my bag. But it wasn't because I was no tough guy. And then I went around to the rec center that's not far from my school to learn how to box.
Okay.
I went in there, I told the trainer, I would like to learn how to box. He said, "For what reason?" I said, "Because I got my book bag taken and I want to learn how to fight." He said, "Get the hell out of my gym."
Wow.
He said, "Son, you are here for all the wrong reasons.
Mm.
I'm going to teach you how to defend yourself, and all you're going to do is go out there and be a bully." I had to prove my worth to him by coming and cleaning up the gym for a couple weeks before he would even show me how to throw a punch.
See your dedication too.
That's what gave me an understanding of what responsibility is.
Mm.
Now, mind you, I'm 11 years old, and I got my shit taken by a preteen.
Mm.
So, it came to a point where I had to learn the understanding of when you're trained, and this is what I tell my ladies, when you're trained, it's not that you overthink the obvious. Just understand that the training gives you the ability to have a plan in a chaotic moment.
In case, yeah.
I
That's a
tell
fact.
ladies all the time, because they always want to know, when are we going to do this? I bring the hitting bag. I'm like, we're not going to hit the bag today. We're going to talk about the litigation today.
Mm.
We're going to talk about the law today. And you know what they do? Until they get involved with it, they're like, "Oh man, this is boring." And then when I do a scenario thing and they start getting mentally involved, then they feel like that was the best class. Women, you have to get them mentally involved in their own protection.
Mm-hmm.
Being physical is one thing, but it's not about fighting as much as about giving yourself that time separation from the danger. So that's what it comes down to, is you want to separate yourself from the danger and give yourself a moment that you wouldn't have if you didn't have that plan.
The understanding, yeah, that's a fact. Yeah.
Does it sound good to you so far?
So far, so good. Ladies, are y'all listening? Fellas, are y'all taking notes to take home to your women, to your kids, to your aunties?
Fellas, don't be afraid. Hit me up. Listen, we can talk about it in depth, because every state has a different crimes code. And the first thing you want to learn is you want to learn that and get criminal law digest for your state. Criminal law digest will give you an understanding of the wording. When I teach my ladies, I teach them litigative language. There's a lot of language in the courtroom that lawyers tell judges and that the defendant or the prosecution only knows what they're saying.
That's a fact.
Stop allowing them to be ventriloquists for you. Start understanding your own case. You can have a good lawyer, but you still got to give him or her an understanding of how much of your life is in jeopardy.
Mm-hmm.
Because some lawyers don't care.
The officers of the court.
Some lawyers are just plead out. They want you to take some kind of ARD program, or, take this. It only puts you on probation for 6 months. Why am I on probation for protecting myself?
Yeah, facts.
That makes absolutely no sense. This is why I say law is not logic. What if you in your house at the top of the steps, somebody breaks in, kick the door in, you live in one of those states that imminent danger is one of those pre-qualifications, and you shot the person and say, well, he shouldn't have kicked my door in, he shouldn't have been in my house. They got criminals out here suing homeowners. What? I broke through the window and cut my hand and had to get stitches.
What?
This is how law is not logical. You could be civilly sued by somebody that was trying to take something from you. That's crazy. All because you negated to educate yourself on what the laws of your state is. I hope that's resonating with the people on here.
I know it's hitting home with me because the Crimes Code book and the what was the other digest?
Criminal Law Digest.
Criminal Law Digest. I hope y'all taking notes, ladies and gentlemen, because this is information. This is game being told, not sold. So y'all need to soak it up. Some jewels and gems that have been dropped, pick them up, and protect yourself.
I'm telling you from a law enforcement standpoint. The thing of it is this: I don't want to see somebody protect themselves and go to jail.
Because it happens one time too many.
Yeah, I feel some kind of way when that happens. Because I'm in law enforcement doesn't mean I don't have a heart. And I know how systematic the system can be against certain people, including myself.
That's a fact.
If I don't have on a uniform, I could be pulled over and treated just like anybody else, because that's what some of these officers do.
That's a fact.
They don't take that protect and serve literal. What they do is they go in a roll call, and a lot of times the sergeants in roll call tell you it's us against them. It's us against them. We need a rest tonight, fellas, ladies. We need a rest.
Yeah.
Well, if nobody's doing something wrong, why would I arrest them? I used to ask questions like that, and you know what that got me? It got me, they calling me a rat, they calling me this, they calling me that. Well, I didn't know that the FOP was a mafia.
The biggest. The biggest.
So why are you using mafia terms when it comes down to a trusted profession? If we truly in a trusted profession, we're supposed to tell the truth. Then how could I be admonished telling the truth? It makes no sense. But the average civilian needs to know these things, so they don't have blinders on their eyes when it comes to support or non-support.
That's a fact. Yeah.
Because it's all about how they treat you as an individual. You may have never had a bad experience. That doesn't mean that bad experiences weren't around you. It's just that you weren't involved in it. So always remember, everything ain't for everybody. God affords other people an existence free of certain things. It's just not in your path. But it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. So we have to be mindful of all that's out there, because all of that's out there can be a challenge to us at any given time.
Mm, that's a fact. That's a fact. Listen, it's always an extra special blessing when B-Hop blesses us, because he always coming with nuggets. Listen, I hope that y'all are enjoying this and y'all are actually soaking it up. Y'all not just sitting there looking like, why they talking to us? I hope y'all are actually paying attention, because this might save your life. It might save you from, like he said, going to jail for protecting yourself, for protecting your family, etc. That's a fact.
Man, you know, I appreciate every time you bring me on.
Yeah.
That's why I do my best to make it impactful, because you know what? It's enough dumb stuff on the internet now.
Too much.
If you can go somewhere and find out some real information, this is what it's all about.
That's a
I'm in the second phase of my life. I was given another chance at life. I got to do things different than I did the first time. So now what I'm conditioning myself to do now is to fund my operation a different way now.
Mm.
I got to get more into my teaching, because physically, that's what I believe I can handle more so than physically being out there.
Yeah.
So, you know, in that sense, you know what I'm saying? Financially, I haven't been able to work.
Mm.
And in Pennsylvania, I was working for myself in law enforcement. So when you don't work for yourself, you don't get paid.
That's a fact.
So the realistic aspect is this. Normally, I don't have nothing in my head that I wouldn't share with anybody. But all I'm asking is that if you want me to advise you on one way or another, just look out for the brother. Whatever you can spare. I could care less how much it is in that sense. I'm just trying not to lose everything I worked hard for prior to this, because my recovery looks like it may take another month or so in reference to being viable enough to be out there. I'm still going through changes and challenges and other stuff and that, but I'm not on here begging for nobody. What I'm just trying to give people an understanding is that the challenges that face me. That's all I'm doing. But thank you, Phil, for letting me say that.
Thank you. Listen, like I said, it's always a pleasure. And you got a place and space, pause, here whenever. So that will never be a problem. And yes, y'all, I am going to save this live. I'm definitely going to save this live. Trust me on that one. Share it with as many people as you can, because people need to hear and see the information that's been in this live, or whatever the case may be too. We need awareness.
I'm gonna start some videos on my teaching in reference to that, because I got to find another way of doing things, because
you have a YouTube channel?
I don't even know how to do all that yet.
I'll try to with you. I'll help you, because
I'm gonna contact you, because not only do that, but I teach law enforcement.
Mm-hmm.
I teach the law enforcement guys in the state of Pennsylvania. They're called certified agents,
Mm-hmm.
and and I have a course that I had developed years ago called Agent in the Law. Agent in the Law, to show these agents who they are and what they are under the law, so they understand three aspects of life: range, scope, and jurisdiction.
Okay.
Range is the depth of your authority. Scope is your job description. Who and where is it coming from? Jurisdiction is a geographic location that both of those aspects have full value. But the ladies understand range, scope, and jurisdiction applies to your personal protection.
That's a fact, yeah.
Your man or your son might not be there. So range will be the depth of your authority. What is it that you can possibly do for yourself that another person or the police department will be a day late and a dollar short? Jurisdiction, where? Because a lot of women don't believe that they can't do something outside of their house. Once you understand the concept of jurisdiction, then you understand that you have 360 degrees around you. Just put your arm out, and at the tip of your finger to your chest bone is what is your personal space.
Mm-hmm.
So your jurisdiction could be personal space inside your vehicle. Any place that you operate, if you at a restaurant, the table that you're sitting at, that's your jurisdiction. Nobody is supposed to infringe upon that because you have all rights and reserve to keep that space free and clear from what you don't want to have there. Scope is your job description. You as a lady, what is your definition of who you are? You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times I hear women tell men, "Oh, just be a man." Well, that's easy to tell somebody when you don't have to embody anything that
Deal
person
with the
has
things
to
that
be.
we have to do.
What it comes down to is this, and I find that a lot of people that I have counseled over the years will say, "Well, he's not a real man." Well, I don't know any unreal men. I know boys in men's clothing.
Talk about it.
That's why there's different terms out there. If you lump everybody in a man category, then how will you know when they don't live up to that standard?
Mm.
So always have an understanding that language means everything. Change your language and your outcome will be better in terms of your full understanding. I'm a prime believer in go look at the definition of the word that you keep using on a regular basis. Because if somebody questions you, how do you defend it? See, not only do you have to defend your person, you have to defend your theory and your spirit. And that's based on logic and analytics. So when it all comes down to it, how much are you investing in yourself? Don't be afraid to invest the bank in yourself, because the rate of return is going to be saving of your life, saving of the life of your children, your spouse, and just giving you a better understanding of how to move around in society. This society is doing things uncharacteristic because we've been challenged on a whole different level. We've been told we couldn't go out of the house for a year. Now, all the crazy people is coming out because they're trying to recoup what they couldn't get.
Yeah, facts. Them checks is gone. Them free checks is gone. So now
And understand, it's up to you to start reading the environment.
that's a fact.
So my thought process to all these people, everybody in here, is go educate yourself one way or the other. It's 2 books that I want you to get. Crimes Code of your state and the Crimes Code also of your state. Because the crimes in your state transcend city, township, or borough. It's the whole state of what you're doing. Now, you might have ordinances and codes in your town, but you can get a separate book for that. That way you can understand the legalities of things. Because when you have a better understanding of the legalities, then you're not saying an argument that's logic but holds no weight in court. That's what it comes down to.
That's a fact.
Remember the 3 things that I said: range, scope, and jurisdiction.
Jurisdiction. That's facts.
It goes along with your house. How much range, how much authority do I have in my house to do something to an intruder? When jurisdiction, how far outside of my house do I have any jurisdictional aspect to protect my property or my family? Scope, your job description. As a woman or as a man in my home, what is my job description for protection? And start looking at the different ways that you protect yourself in your home. Stop leaving things at your front door. Worst case scenario. Most people don't know what's in your kitchen. You know what's in your kitchen. But most times out of not, somebody's going to try to invade your house when you're in your bed. Don't put your stuff so far away from you that it becomes obsolete to you. Start having a drill for all the parents out here. Start having a safety drill in your house. See how fast you can get your kids together and get them to a safe place, either in your house or outside your house.
Facts. Everybody's not, privileged to have a panic room, but at the same time, you might have a safe location in your house or a route to get, like you said, outside your house.
Or you might see based on your inquiry that I need to create a room. Because you can create a false room out of a deep closet.
That's a fact.
Some people have walk-in closets that they can
off a space. Yeah.
You partition it over and make that your room. It's called you can make it a war room. Put some surveillance cameras in there if you choose to. There's so many ways out here, y'all. But I'm giving you as much as I can because I don't want nobody to be a victim.
And I appreciate it. Pretty sure most of the people, if not all the people, appreciate it too.
That's it. Get them books.
Get them, y'all. Get them.
The 3 things that I saw a young lady write: range, scope, and jurisdiction. Commit that to memory because you can use it in your personal life too, especially with men and women that don't really know the definition of who they are, or they keep trying to tell other people what to be. Any woman that tells me, listen, be a man, I'm going to turn it back. By you telling me that, do you have a definition of who you are and what you're supposed to be? Because so many definitions of a woman, the lines have been blurred because of sexism, classism, and racism cause you ladies to think that you have to be men when you don't have to be. Because you're paying all your bills yourself doesn't make you mom and dad.
Factamundo.
It makes you a responsible mother. It's enough with being a responsible mother that it's going to last you a lifetime. And if you want a man in your life, understand one thing. I will never travel down your lane. Don't travel down mine.
Let me be me while you be you. That's a fact.
Yes. Let's take time to compliment each other. That's
right.
what it comes down to. It doesn't have to be a hard pill to swallow. Black women and black men have always been the dynamic for each other. It's just that when you believe in stereotypes, then you don't see the real value. Because I'm so tired of going on lives where it's always stereotypical views. Black men don't do this, black men don't do that. Well, I don't even have a PlayStation. I don't play PlayStation. You know what I'm saying? I haven't lived with my mother since I was 18 years old. I'm 54. I've never lived on her couch. The only time that I was ever at my mother's house when I was grown is when I found out I had high blood pressure and diabetes, and I was in the hospital for a week. And I had to come home. I had to come somewhere and recoup and have somebody help me out, and it was my mom. So when it all comes down to it, what about the men out here that are actually doing their thing? When are we going to stop honing in on the negative?
Talk about it.
If all you can do is negative, that means that your problem-solving skills are in the toilet. See, my thing is this. If you ever want to be happy in life, you got to start putting out positives. I can say that because when I was in rehab, I did not know why God woke me up. my faith was so rattled because of the situation that I was in. I couldn't do anything that I remembered that I could do. I couldn't type on my phone. I couldn't focus. I couldn't do a lot of things. And when you rehabilitate yourself, what you're doing is you're showing yourself how to slow the picture down.
Mm.
Gain some insight, some intuition, and some patience. And know that God is not one of those overnight things. God, as long as you're in your heart and you're willing to do the work, He'll bless your steps. I know because I'm speaking from a test and a testament.
And a
And
testimony.
this is my testimony.
That's a fact.
Because I'm not going to keep nothing secret anymore about my health or anything about me, because that's what got me in the situation that I'm in now.
Mm.
Not owning up to the realities of what was going on with my body until I got fed up. Well, don't wait till you get fed up. If something is going wrong and you have health coverage, go find out.
That's a fact. Men, we the worst of them. Men, we the worst of them. Ladies, they'll go way more often than we will. But men, we'll be in our pride. Like, I don't need to go no doctor. I'm all right. Don't wait till it's too late.
The silent killer is high blood pressure for black men. And it's a silent killer for women. When you have that pain in your arm, ladies, you have that pain on one side for a day or two, you could be having a mild heart attack. Just understand the symptoms and the signs for men and women could be different. Our bodies are made up different. So our thresholds are different.
Big facts. My mother stayed on my ASS about going to the doctors. That's a fact. Because a lot of us don't. A lot of us will be like, man, I ain't going no doctor, man. Da, 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 da. And as you get older, that prostate exam ain't something that you look forward to wanting to do.
And my dad had a few bouts with prostate.
Oh wow!
Not to mention when I was much younger, he had breast cancer.
Really? Wow.
You don't hear about men having
Not
breast
often.
cancer.
Yeah, not often at all. Yeah.
But he went and got that checked out. He's been in remission. My dad is 82.
Oh wow! Shout out to your pops. Yeah.
He caught breast cancer when he was in his 50s. And the thing of it is this: don't be scared, fellas. What's the worst that can happen? You live.
That's a fact.
The reality of it is you may have to live a little different, but it's worth the sacrifice, because guess what? If you have anybody else that's requiring your presence, it's important that you give them everything that they deserve.
Your kids, your spouse, your family. Listen.
I hate going to the doctor. Well, change your doctor. It's more than one doctor out here.
Yeah, change
so
your
understandably so, go to a doctor that has better bedside manner, that has a better communication. Doctors are a dime a dozen now. And if you have a decent health coverage, you can change your primary as often as you change your medication, because you get what you pay for. Start understanding and knowing that there's a symbiotic relationship between you and your doctor. If you don't feel that way, then go educate yourself on a new doctor. Start asking people, what's your doctor's name? Call the practice, find out what insurance they take. Because the true education is going to be, just like I said, with self-defense. Education. That's what it comes down to. And, for me, it's been crazy because I'm not a administrative assistant dude. My partners keep saying, "Yo, Hop, when you gonna write the book?" Well, first of all, I don't even type like that. I tell people stop texting me and call me because
They
I can
got
talk better than I type.
they got software, Dragon Soft, like on your computers, and certain ones for the that you can dictate and it'll
I'm
transcribe
learning that. I'm learning that now, bro.
it.
See, listen. I was technically challenged when I got out of communications and got into law enforcement. I left the technological stuff alone.
Mm.
I was a communications engineer before I got into law enforcement. I used to build telecommunication rooms, fiber optic and copper, all of that.
Mm.
I used to build telephone rooms that the big telephone companies used to operate. Running cable, tying them down, the whole nine, testing them. But I never got to the aspect of like the routers, Cisco routers, and just getting into the computer aspect of it. That's the one thing that I didn't do. And you know, technology has exploded. I'm just learning how to do all of this, Instagram and all that stuff. Like Facebook, it took me almost 20 minutes just to see how I could go live.
Mm.
Because I had to go live on Facebook because my dad doesn't have Instagram.
Oh wow.
And I wanted to give him a snapshot of what my recovery looked like because I've been doing it every day, you know, going out for a walk every day just to make sure that I'm disciplined. And I needed outside influences to keep me on my mission by the people that were chiming in. That was a major blessing to me because they would come on and say good morning, be hot, what's up? And I'd be out there doing my thing, walking, trying to keep everything in my head. But see,
Mm.
sometimes your spirit needs an extra boost.
Talk about that. Yeah, definitely.
Stop
Yeah.
thinking that you hear. I had to condition myself. Stop thinking I'm going through this alone.
Mm.
Because the people that are assisting me, like my sister and my daughter, I can't X them out. And the people, when I was in the hospital, that added to my GoFundMe, and you know, some people that have added to my Cash App, all of that stuff. I have to acknowledge that because you have to acknowledge your small wins.
That's a fact. Because people don't have to do, people don't have to give. So yeah, when people do, even down to buying a badge or something, I'm humbly thankful because
Yeah,
you
it's a
never know.
blessing, bro.
Yeah, that's a
Because
fact.
the only guarantees in life are the ones that we have no control over.
Mm.
So, you know, the reality of it is I hope that the people on this live really got something from this conversation. I'm praying that they did.
I believe they did. I'll stamp it for everybody in here. I know they did. And if they didn't, something wrong with them and they need help. Because it was
Well,
very insightful. You kind of took what I already discussed and kind of took it to a whole nother level and
and
provided other
I didn't know
content.
what you were talking about. I was
Mm-hmm.
on another live speaking about politics.
Yeah.
But when you build yourself as a multifaceted person, you have to educate yourself on a lot of different parameters in life. If anybody's going to respect you for anything, you have to be knowledgeable about a lot of
A lot
things.
of things. That's a fact. That's a fact.
You only have to be an expert in one thing if that's what you focused on. Other than that, start being well-rounded. Learn your history, learn the laws, learn some things. You know, educate myself on it. I was looking at a HVAC thing on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I get tired of people coming to my house fixing something
Overcharging.
and being more knowledgeable than me.
Yeah, yeah.
So start to make it a challenge, y'all. That challenge will keep you focused.
And yes, I'm Khadija. I am saving his life, definitely.
Most definitely, most definitely. Listen, if anybody, like I said, if anybody wants to, you know, friend request me, just hit me up. I'm gonna try to, as best as I can, get back to everybody. But lately I've been getting a bunch of people that want to do Bitcoin and all this other stuff.
Yeah, and
It's starting to
for
get it's starting to be a headache.
yeah.
Bitcoin, send me 200, I'll get you 4,000.
Oh, that one.
I'm so sick of those people. Like, it's crazy. I'm not saying that Bitcoin isn't real, but it's not like that.
You got to flip it on them. Okay, why don't you send me that 4,000 or that 2,000, and then I'll see you the 200. How about that?
Yeah, that's never going to happen.
Facts.
They always want you to put your money up. I said, listen, I'm not working right now. I don't have no money, so I can't do none of the above.
Khadija says block them.
I try. I tried to. I tried to. I don't even friend request. I don't even accept them.
Accept it. Yeah.
But I do. I don't have a problem with delete. I learned that. My daughter showed me that.
Get them up out of there. Bloop, bloop, boop, boop. They
But
about
yeah,
it.
the YouTube thing, I'm going to contact you and see if you can
Yeah,
show me.
I help
My
walk.
partner, when he gets back from Africa, he wants to do a podcast thing with me about different things about our law enforcement, about the laws and all that other stuff. But I have to do some things now because I don't know when I'm physically going to be able to get out there in the workbook.
Yeah.
So for me, it's about really honing in on a different way of getting things done.
Yeah.
So I need all the help I can get, y'all. I really do. But thank God I don't have shortness of breath. I've been walking longer than I have been walking ever since I came home. My balance is getting a little better.
It's good.
I'm still kind of shaky going up and down steps and stuff like that. But for the most part, I can tell everybody that wanted to know about my recovery, I'm doing okay.
In due time. How far are you able to walk now? Have you been able to gauge with a quarter mile?
Yeah, I've been working about three or four times around my block.
Okay.
Which is the equivalent of maybe a nice track.
Okay.
So 4 times around the track is maybe 100 yards, I guess.
No, regulation tracks four times around is a mile. It's supposed to be.
I go around my house and up the back. If you look at any of my lives, some of them I do it from a walking standpoint, so you can see where I'm going.
Okay, but yeah, if it's like a football field track, because back when I used to play football, we used to have the jog that four times around. That's a mile. I remember that.
Yeah, I've been doing that. My neighbor set my phone to track my steps.
Mm-hmm.
Do the health app to track my steps. I think I'm gonna start doing that.
Yeah, it'll help. It gives you something to gauge the actual distance and like a personal goal to kind of, even if it ain't but a tenth past that next time, or definitely.
Right. So, yeah, I just want to let everybody know that I'm on the road to recovery, and I'm taking my time. I'm just trying to find different ways that I can assist people and do some assisting for myself at the same time.
That's a fact. If
All
y'all
right,
not
well,
following B Hop, his handle is B Hop 410. Make sure you follow the brother. He's a good brother, good minding. You know what I'm talking about. Follow him. You can't
thank
go
y'all.
wrong. You can't go wrong.
Brother Phil, God
Yes,
bless you, bro.
God bless you as well. I appreciate you as always.
All right.
Be blessed, my brother. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all got the Apple Watch 2-piece, Lily. Definitely. I hope that y'all have gleaned something, learned something, soaked up something, intaked some of this good food for thought that has been passed down in this live. And for those that came in late, the hey ladies, you got to be more careful is in regards to a video that I posted in my reels and in my story of a young lady jogging and a fella in another car trying to kidnap the lady, trying to abduct the lady. To put it all in full circle and in a summary, that ladies, y'all have to be more mindful and aware of your surroundings and willing to protect yourself, learn how to protect yourself. And fellas, We need to protect our ladies. If we see something going on, try to intervene, whether it be verbally, physically, whatever the case may be. We all we got. We all we got. We all, as a community, we need to get back to this. We here, in a lot of instances, we need to get back to here. With that being said, I know y'all tired of me. I know y'all want to get to another live. I know y'all want to get to some bullshittery. But I appreciate each and every one of y'all that have tapped in and come through. I hope y'all have definitely gotten something out of it. Again, my goal is to always bring you something of some substance that you can take away from here and, you know, really think about it and apply to your life. Love all y'all on purpose. And you know how I say smile, because you never know what it might do for somebody else and yourself. More importantly, love on somebody on purpose, with purpose. I extended that one, didn't I? On purpose, with purpose. Thank you. It's your boy Corey. Listen, we can make a change, one person at a time, one household at a time, one community at a time, et cetera, et cetera. And we got to be willing to be the vessels of change for ourselves, for our family, for our friends, for our community, et cetera, et cetera. Appreciate y'all. You feel me? And on that note, to the next time we can chop it up. No, I'm going to give you my whole spiel. I'm not anti-you. I'm pro-me with an emphasis on building we. So let that marinate in your melon until the next time we can chop it up and have a tete-a-tete. Until that day, I'll holla.